WWE Wrestlepalooza Predictions. I'm Will, that's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers, talk about some wrestling now.
I wasn't really ready for that, so I started doing the Fandango little point thing. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. It's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
So first one on ESPN, so here we go.
Yeah, first big ESPN show, but make sure to stop by our live stream for it on youtube.com/CodWrestlePod, as well as Raw and SmackDown before it, so just be there. It's a lot of fun. But let's get into this. We got another match added on SmackDown last Friday. We got 5 official matches at the moment. Not 1, not 2, not 3. 5 matches right now. They normally like to do maybe 6. So before we get into our official predictions with the official matches, any matches you foresee happening or getting added to the card?
Yeah, I think there's 2 real possibilities, but really when I think about it, I only think there's maybe 1.
Me too.
I think it's going to be that Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, Jade Cargill triple threat at WrestlePalooza. That's probably what I would go with. You need another match from SmackDown, and you need another women's match, so it kind of answers both questions there. It gives you the best of both worlds. And honestly, at the end of it, I could see Tiffany retaining, and then you hit Bianca Belair's music, and maybe Bianca shows up. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I was thinking about that on the drive over. I was like, yeah, that would be pretty cool. Sign me up. So that's what I want now.
Yep, that's exactly what I have here. I mean, you could do the AJ Dom, but it's kind of been like that specific match, the one-on-one between them, hasn't really been revisited in a while. Like AJ's been dealing with the Grandes and stuff like that, but like in terms of them one-on-one interacting, we really haven't seen it since SummerSlam, so I don't think it's going to be added on here. Tiffany Stratton is one of WWE's top athletes that they have, period. This is the first show on ESPN. I think that you should showcase an athlete at her level like that. And I do think it'd be nice to see a triple threat match happen. And then I'm with you. I don't think there's any bigger place to show up, you know, in the foreseeable future for Bianca Belair. So you get a big time return on your first ESPN show. That would also be awesome. And Bianca Belair is the best athlete WWE has in general. So that would really play into that as well. So I'm with you. I think this match is going to be on the card. Tiffany wins it. Bianca returns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds like we get that announcement on Friday.
Right before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume that before. Nick Aldis comes out.
How about
you know what?
Yeah. How about tomorrow night?
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany's like, oh. And Chelsea's like, Nicholas. Anyways, let's move on to the official WrestlePalooza match card. We do have the Usos are back as a tag team. They are taking on Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Who do you got winning it?
Yeah, I think if you would have asked me before Raw last week, I would have given you a different answer. I think before Raw last week, I would have said, oh, there's no way the Usos are losing this match. I'm picking the Usos. But now you have Jay, and you've got all these like subtle hints about Jay being edgier. I won't say a heel full on, but not so much maybe Yeet Jay Uso, but more of me Jay Uso in terms of it's all him, you know, sort of thing. So I'm going with the Brons here on this one. I also think in terms of the Brons as a tag team, you're kind of getting them separated from Seth Rollins right now, and I kind of really enjoy that. And you could honestly maybe have them start to look at the tag division, start to look at the tag team titles. I know you've talked about that time and time and time again. It's kind of like, why wouldn't you? That just makes a lot of sense. So go ahead and give me the Brons on this one.
I am with you. I'm taking Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed for multiple opinions here. I do think that we're still in the era of like they shouldn't be losing any of these type of matches because I do think that we still need to establish the vision as being this overarching doom over Raw and WWE as a whole. And I'm also with you that I think Jay is going to probably break. This might be the official show where he breaks and maybe lets his brother down in a big way. Maybe he goes into business for himself during the match. You could also have an LA Knight run in or something. It looks like LA Knight and Jey Uso are positioned to be up against each other after WrestlePalooza. So that could also happen. It is WWE. They love distractions. So basically in a lot of different ways, I see Braun and Bronson Reed walking away from this with a win.
Yeah, and honestly, if the Usos just came together and they got the win here, it kind of just almost kills all the momentum for Braun and Bronson.
Yeah, and you could do some really good work for Jimmy here. It could really boost up Jimmy if Jay does decide to go into business for himself and kind of like officially turn on his brother right then and there. So you do get like I don't know if they're going to fully lean into like a Jey Uso heel turn necessarily where he's walking away from the event as a solidified bad guy, but you could really set up something interesting and kind of rekindle old bloodline story things in there with Jay and Jimmy if that does happen.
Yeah, so, I mean, they could always do brother versus brother WrestleMania. What could go wrong?
Oh, what could go wrong with that? There's no way that would be bad. Oh. We'll move it on though. Probably the least interesting match on the card, in my opinion, which if you look at it makes absolutely no sense. But I don't think WWE has done them justice in the build-up whatsoever. It is the Women's World Championship match. We will crown a new champion at WrestlePalooza. Iyo Sky, Stephanie Vaquer. Who do you got?
Yeah, this one not for their fault. Like this is none of their doing. But I'm also I'm of the thought process of like, why should I care? Like, and it's not anything against Iyo or Stephanie. They're both fantastic, but WWE has really dropped the ball here. So you're like, golly. I know once the bell rings, the match is going to be fantastic. I kind of went back and forth on this one. You have Iyo with the Kabuki Warrior stuff, with the Rhea Ripley stuff. I think here you do get some sort of distraction from the Kabuki Warriors. I think they try to maybe cost Iyo. I think Rhea comes out and saves Iyo, and I think Iyo gets the win is what I'm going to go with. It's hard for me to say like, hey, the women's world title needs to be wrapped up in the tag title into this story that's completely separate. But I also just can't really pick somebody that hasn't been on TV. I know she was on NXT for the NXT Homecoming stuff, but I just don't see that happening. I have been given no reason to really think Steph's going to win here.
When Stephanie Vaquer made her big Raw debut, I was literally on the boat of like, give her everything right here, right now. Like she's hot as can be in terms of like her in-ring and stuff. And she is it was a time. It was lightning in a bottle. She showed up and I was like, yes, 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 right now. But since then there's been nothing. And I can't even find a way into it of being like, yeah, she should just not show up for months and then show up and win a championship. Like, not even I can excuse that. I do think it'll be weird kind of doing the tag team stuff with whatever they want to do with the Rhea, Nikki Bella, Kabuki Warrior, Iyo stuff and having the title involved in all of that. I think it might be weird, but at this point, that story is much more built up than anything that they have for Stephanie right now and anything they would have for Stephanie if she were to get the title. Like, if she won it, I would sit here and be like, what are you even going to do with it? So I think that Iyo Sky has to win this thing. There's more story there. There's just more routes after she wins it.
Yeah, and I guess I had honestly completely forgotten about the Nikki Bella element with the Rhea stuff. But so maybe you have like a clean break, quote unquote, and maybe that's like, hey, they just threw her in there. Hey, take Io's place. Io's going to go have the title. I just have no reason to pick Stephanie when she's been off TV.
Yeah, she's been off TV.
There's just no reason to.
I'm just sitting here like, okay, I'm sitting here like, okay, a lot of people are probably going to say, no, this is the moment the Kabuki Warriors come out and they cost Iyo. Like the official turn of Asuka will happen at WrestlePalooza, and that's what will get Steph the title. Okay, what do you do with Stephanie Vaquer Monday? Like your Rheas, your Nikkis, your Ios, your Asukas are all doing the tag team stuff. Your Beckys and your AJ Lees are all doing that. Your Lyras and your Baileys are doing what they're doing. What scraps are there for Stephanie Vaquer's first title reign? It would feel like even she doesn't have any steam going into this match. And if you gave her the title, it would be another one of those situations WWE's had lately where they just have the champion sit there and do nothing because there's nothing of substance to be had afterward.
Yeah, and it's almost like that as well. Like you could literally just replace Stephanie's name with Io's name there because that could be a potential as well. She could be sitting there for a little bit. I think she's going to come back to that tag title stuff, or I shouldn't say tag title, that tag story with Rhea. Maybe Nikki Bella ends up, being the sacrificial lamb or something, and then Iyo slides in there. Her and Rhea kind of go after the Kabuki Warriors.
Man, it just feels like either way. We don't know what they're going to do with the title afterward, huh? That opened up a can of worms. I'm sitting in my head right now like, oh no.
Yep. It's not a good situation for either one of them.
Big time mixed tag team match happening at WrestlePalooza. Seth Rollins teams with Becky Lynch to take on CM Punk and the returning AJ Lee, who's walking away with the win.
Yeah, I think this one is the easiest one on the card to predict. You got to give me AJ Lee and CM Punk. It's their first match. AJ Lee's first match back in a decade. She's not losing that. I think she ends up making Becky tap, and you really have the Becky and Seth friction that I've kind of talked about time and time again here. I think that's a really good element. I really like that idea. Just to see the joy from CM Punk and AJ Lee being together, being on screen. It's great. It's fantastic. Seth and Becky being these like bickering heels about like almost delusional. And I'm not just saying that. Everybody's saying that. It's really good stuff. It's really great. So go ahead, give me AJ Lee tapping out Becky Lynch at WrestlePalooza.
I don't know, man. I think Becky Lynch is going to win this one clean. Psych! AJ Lee's winning this one 100%. I don't know how they're going to end it. I think that Becky Lynch is tapping 100%. I maybe even foresee something where CM Punk has Seth in the Anaconda Vice while AJ Lee has Becky in the Black Widow, and you get a double tap of some sort. But then again, I don't know if they want Seth Rollins tapping out right now, so probably not that. But it doesn't matter. This is going to be an AJ Lee classic here. It's going to be a return to form. It's going to be an AJ Lee win, and we're probably going to roll this, parlay this into a Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee intercontinental feud after WrestlePalooza.
It could be one of those things there at the end where you have them looking, Seth and Becky looking at each other, and they're like, don't tap.
Oh, that'd
and
be
then
cool.
Becky taps.
That, dude,
I like that idea.
Book that.
That
And then
cool.
and then Seth, even on Mondays, you kind of like, I love you, but like can't have quitters in the vision, you know? Can't have quitters in the vision. You're still the GOAT, but you gotta get away from this for a little bit. Match that got announced on Friday Night SmackDown. WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes takes on Drew McIntyre. WrestlePalooza. Who's walking away the champ?
Yeah, if this one wasn't at WrestlePalooza, it wasn't on ESPN, I might give Drew McIntyre the nod here. But it is ESPN. It is WrestlePalooza. We talk about these like cross-sport comparisons, all the promotion, like, hey, you need your big stars out there. Well, who bigger than Cody Rhodes, right? The quarterback, he's back. The champ is back. Yeah, it's got to be Cody Rhodes here. I want more than anything out of this to just get a long feud. Maybe Drew can maybe get the next one off of Cody some way, somehow, somewhere. But go ahead, give me Cody Rhodes on this one. I feel like this one is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm with you. This one's a no-brainer. It's going to be Cody Rhodes. This is just going to be like a celebration of Cody Rhodes being back full-time WWE champion again. Let's do this thing against a great opponent like Drew McIntyre. Drew's fantastic. There's going to be great story beats throughout the match. I bet they're going to beat the absolute hell out of each other. It could steal match of the night, these two. I have no doubt about that. But this is definitely just the first step in what's going to be a lengthy feud between the two of them. Cody Rhodes gets the win here. We establish it. We establish a feud once and for all again, and we move forward on SmackDown as this being the main storyline from here on out. So Cody wins by a mile. Huh?
Yeah, I think the interesting question, which we'll get into at a later time, is maybe like, does Randy have any involvement? Does Randy play some sort of role? I've seen some people hinting at maybe a Randy heel turn, or maybe, him being upset sort of thing. So, I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah, that could happen. Who knows? We'll get to that later in the week. How about that? And then what's being reported as the main event by, I can't remember the announcer's name. Who's Raw announcer? Opposite of Michael Cole sometimes. Not even.
Joe
Tessitore. Yeah, he leaked that this match is probably going to main event WrestlePalooza. John Cena will be taking on Brock Lesnar. WrestlePalooza. Who wins this one?
Yeah, I think they're going to do co-main events probably. So you got probably Cody, Drew, and then you got Brock and John here. I don't really know, honestly, to tell you the truth. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm picking John Cena on this one. Kind of a gut feeling here. We don't really know why Brock is back other than just like, hey, I want to fight Cena, right? I could see John Cena winning this match because he does have, more dates to fill, and who else is on that list. And maybe we get a hint at that at the end, right? Maybe you get John Cena posing, maybe you get some sort of music hitting and somebody comes out and that's John Cena's next feud. I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead. It's going to be hard for me to pick against John Cena the rest of the retirement tour. I just want to see John Cena continue to win. So give me John Cena on this one.
I'm with you. I'm going to keep picking John Cena for the rest of the retirement tour. If he would have lost to Logan Paul, I probably would be sitting here saying he was going to put over Brock Lesnar right now. But I just don't see that happening. I think that maybe this match is going to be booked for a run-in of some sort. I think we're going to set up Brock Lesnar's next opponent maybe, and that's how we do it, because I don't see John Cena just cleanly beating Brock Lesnar in his return match to WWE, especially with the route that we've taken during this feud, if that's what you want to call it, where Brock's just running in and F5ing people. So I just don't see how John Cena gets a clean win. I more look at this as like, this match sets up whatever next for at least one of these guys. I don't know if somebody runs in, helps Cena, and gets Cena the win, and then we just move on with that, or if, like I just said, somebody gets Brock Lesnar, causes him issues, and then we set up another Brock Lesnar feud. It's wonky here. I don't know what the finish is going to look like, but in terms of like betting on it, I'm just going to bet Cena.
Yeah, it's a wonky feud with like a wonky build, because Brock just comes in and F5s people. They don't really have an interaction. It doesn't seem like they're going to, because John's going to be on Raw and Brock's going to be on SmackDown again. So we're not really going to see a face-to-face until WrestlePalooza, I don't think, unless there's some sort of attack, right? So just a weird overall build and feud, especially with these recap packages. Like, we didn't really need any of it, but here we are.
Yeah. When Brock Lesnar walked back in at SummerSlam and F5 Cena, a lot of us are like, do we really need this feud? And a week out, less than a week out from WrestlePalooza, we're like, no, we didn't need to see this again, but we're getting it. It's been booked big time in terms of like what it's gonna do for the big show, ESPN. It's gonna be a big time match, and it's gonna have a big time feel when we get there. I don't know how it's gonna go. John Cena's been putting on fantastic matches, so he's been proving he's in the ring. So now it's gonna be Brock Lesnar's point to prove that he still can go, which he's been able to surprise in the past. But again, it's been years, so hopefully the match is good. And I hope if it main events that Cena stands tall at the end of the first ever ESPN show, man.
Yeah,
basically it.
Yeah, I mean that feels like a good kind of also send off for the retirement tour, right? Like your face of the company for the last however long, right? Is your I guess he ends him and Cody both kind of end ESPN the first show or whatever. That sounds nice.
Just don't have Ron Cena walk out there. Just don't do that, man.
Well,
don't have Ron Cena walk out there and get Cena another win like he did with Randy Orton. That'd be wild. Anyway, those are our official Wrestlepalooza predictions. Make sure to comment all of your predictions in the comment section. We'd love to have conversations about that and hear y'all's takes. And then for everything else, make sure to stop by our YouTube, youtube.com/COD WrestlePod for our Raw, SmackDown, and Wrestlepalooza watch-alongs live stream. So come watch it with us. And then for everything else, it's at COD WrestlePod, COD WrestlePod. We have a link tree in our bio. Take you to all of our social media links, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all that. So we'd really appreciate a follow, a subscription on those things. We think you'd love it. But I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast, and we'll see you next time.